This is a Future Weapons special, and I'm in a small country that's big on weapons. Breaking down doors made simple with Simon.
Instantaneous key to any door.
Like a bull in a china shop, the Matador takes building busting by the horns. In a rescue scenario, I take on the bad guys, save the hostages, and showcase the latest weapons technology from the Promised Land. I'm Mac, and this is Future Weapons from Israel. Israel is only as big as the state of New Jersey. But it's a land of amazing contrast. From the desert mountains in the north to the Mediterranean coastline complete with thriving cities like Haifa and Tel Aviv. In the southwest is Jerusalem, a city that has seen conflict for thousands of years. The land that is now the state of Israel has always had strategic importance throughout history. Since its foundation in 1948, Israel has had to fight for its right to exist. In 2006, the war with Lebanon continued to bring home just how volatile this region of the world actually is. The land of Israel is one of the most hotly contested pieces of real estate in all of human history. Since its independence, it has been at war or preparing for war. As recently as July 2006, missiles were falling in Haifa. There. This is one country. They take their weapons seriously. On the Mediterranean coast, somewhere north of Haifa, is a classified proving ground. This is where they test the latest Israeli military firepower. It's a site littered with the remains of buildings and vehicles, past targets of newly developed weapons technology. This site is owned by Rafael, one of the largest arms manufacturers in Israel. Normally, this place is off limits to the outside world. But today, Future Weapons is here to see two pieces of devastating hardware. On the urban battlefield of today and tomorrow, quick, safe access to buildings is vital for troops on the ground. Breaching doors and using conventional explosives is risky business. There are important challenges that you must consider. What you choose can make the difference between life and death. Performing a dynamic entry and taking down a building is one of the most dangerous things you could do in urban warfare. Why? Well, you have to handle the door. First, you got to get your team up close and personal so the breacher can handle the door. He's going to have to place explosives onto the door, both of which could give away their position. And if you're talking about a reinforced door, well, you need more explosives. And if you need more explosives, you don't want to be near it when it goes off. What if you could handle this breaching threat from a safe distance? Simon says, open door. The Simon is an advanced, lightweight door-breaching device. It attaches onto a conventional assault rifle like the M16. It can be fired up to 30 yards from the target.
It can be fired with any bullet. You don't need to change magazine. You don't have to use any blanks here. You just aim it and fire it.
Dr. Zev Rittman is head of breaching and urban warfare at Rafael.
Take me through the explosive chain here.
What you see here is the bullet trap mechanism in red. You see the mechanical impact fuse here. And this is the continuation of the detonation chain. And here is the main explosive. So once you fire it, the fuse is armed, ready to fire. Once it hits the target, here in the end of this standoff probe, the firing pin here will initiate the detonator inside the fuse, and that in turn will initiate the booster here, the detonating code, and the main explosive.
And then the door?
And the door will blast out of the hinges.
When the weapon is fired, the bullet is captured in the bullet trap, forcing the Simon and all of its energy toward the door. The fail-safe mechanism ensures that the Simon is only armed after it has traveled 15 yards downrange from the barrel of the rifle. But it's what happens when the standoff rod strikes the door that makes the Simon so successful.
What we have here is a very special shape charge of the explosive.
Dr. Tammy Yerome is in charge of research and development at Rafael.
The explosive is shape charged so that it provides a cone of blast. So this cone goes up to about 1 meter in diameter, so that all this blast and pressure pushes the door in order to collapse the door.
The warhead contains only 5.5 ounces of explosive, but because of its shape, it utilizes the energy from the blast very effectively, directing all of the force from the shockwave exactly where it's required.
It doesn't depend much on the door type. It just has a lot of pressure on the door, so whatever the door is, it just collapses inside with a very little damage to the people inside and outside.
In hostage rescue, this means blasting the door doesn't have to kill or injure innocent civilians on the other side. After I fire the Simon off, it's no difference for my M4. I can still fire.
You are using the same magazine, you are using the same bullet, and you just continue to fire.
I think it's great. I mean, the fact of the matter is all I have to do to get this thing to fire is just place it right on the top, aim it, it's going to hit that door, knock it off, and once it's gone,
Just
I'm
continue
back to my weapon, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's go blow something up.
Okay, let's do that.
Coming up, I find out what happens when Simon comes knocking at the door. This is Future Weapons from Israel, a land of contrasting landscapes and home to an amazing variety of cultures and religions. Since 1948, arms manufacturers like Rafael have been developing special weapons tailored specifically for Israel's needs. The Simon is designed to take out doors from a safe distance. Now, at Rafael's test center, they've constructed a tough building with a tough door to breach. Because a standard wooden door wouldn't be any competition for the Simon, what we've got here is a steel Israeli door. It's a multi-lock. We got one up here, one over here, and one down here. Let's see how the Simon performs. For this test, I'll fire the Simon 25 yards from the door. Using this Simon is really as easy as having a loaded M4 that's ready to go. Just slide it right on the top, just like that. Aim it at what you want to take out. And boom, instantaneous key to any door. Just like that, no problem. You can enter the building now. You've done the breaching from a safe distance. And I'll tell you what, if I need to keep firing with my weapon, no problem. Nothing is in the way. So, the Simon is a simple way of going through the door. It's light and compact and causes minimal collateral damage. But what happens when you need to enter a building and you can't go through the door? Or how about what happens when you need to enter a building through reinforced concrete? Wouldn't it be nice to use the same weapon to take out a light armored vehicle? Handling that much flexibility is a beast of a challenge. You need something like the Matador. This bad boy right here is the Matador, and with it, you don't have to take any bull. It comes in 2 modes. 1, I can put a hole in. 2, I can take down the room. Dr. Zev Ritman is in charge of breaching and urban warfare at Rafael.
First thing that you need to notice is there is a small switch here which is very important. It actually determines the mode of operation.
This switch alters the time interval between the detonation of the 2 charges contained in the Matador's warhead. The short interval mode ensures that the charge explodes inside the wall itself. Because the warhead is propelled by a rocket, it travels at a constant velocity, ensuring the distance between the 2 charges is always the same. But by increasing the time interval between the detonations, the second explosion now occurs inside the building. This is known as blast mode.
Actually, by putting it in a blast mode, you choose the long time delay mode. So what happens when you fire this projectile and it hits the target, the braking charge will open the way for the follow-through warhead to penetrate through the wall and detonate later on after this longer time delay inside the structure, detonating the explosive and actually demolish the building.
Time for me to test the full power of the Matador. The warhead will have to penetrate 8 inches of double reinforced concrete before it enters the structure. This is a good challenge for a shoulder-launched missile system. With the high-speed camera, you can see the rocket in flight towards the building. I set the Matador to blast mode. The first blast makes the hole. Then a millisecond later, the second blast takes out the room. You can see right there where Matador snuck itself in. Now, this may be deceptive, but it went through about 12 inches of concrete right there. The Matador's second explosion has done serious damage to this building. There's no doubt you would not want to be in there. Ow. The Simon and Matador are just 2 of the latest weapons from Rafael and Dynamic Defense. They're designed for safe, fast access to buildings when you need to keep a little distance. Coming up, I test out the all-new Micro Devor. Can Israel's latest compact assault rifle handle a big mission? I'm on a mission to explore some of the latest Israeli military technology. At the Denny High Tactical Training Center, Future Weapons brings you a taste of things to come. For this mission into enemy territory, I've selected a weapon designed for extreme environments. This is the latest evolution of IWI's Devor assault rifle, standard issue now for Israel Defense Forces. This new weapon is the Micro Devor. It's crafted to be ergonomic and ultra-compact. It's perfect for the needs of special operations. Our mission: infiltrate an enemy base and free diplomatic captives. With the Micro Devor at the ready, I can see the level of security is high. Somewhere inside the compound, we know are the hostages. Our mission is to find out where they are without attracting any attention. The name of the game is stealth. Part of my crack team includes Gil Wayman, IWI weapons specialist and expert with the Micro Devor. Now, from my experience, the Devor I have the most familiarity with is a little bit longer. Not much, but a little bit longer. Why did you guys decide, I'm going to make it even shorter?
Our special units, they were looking for a new assault rifle, which is the most compact as possible. This is an assault rifle, a full-size assault rifle, but is as compact as it can come.
The Micro Devor is available as a 5.56mm and 9mm platform. The 2 weapons are so similar that once guys are trained on one caliber, they can easily adapt to the other with no need for further instruction. Let me see something. I just want to check something out real quick. But yeah, see, look at that. It just naturally goes right into your arm, doesn't it?
Yes, it is.
It feels natural for you, doesn't it? Everything's nice and tight and compact. Everything's right there. And the vast majority of the weight is in the rear, so I don't have to, exactly, I don't have to carry any weight up front. So now everything's tight, compact. I know exactly where I'm going. I don't have to lift up the front of the barrel. It doesn't require a lot of muscle. The bullpup design of the Micro Devor allows the barrel to be shortened without compromising its effectiveness. As a result, you have an accurate 13-inch barrel on a weapon that's less than 2 feet long.
You can use an optical sight. You can extend your ability to hit your target in a longer distance.
Well, because that's magnified then.
It is an X3 magnifier. Just click it on.
Just like that.
You don't need to zero it, and you're ready to go.
All I had to do is increase the magnification. Now I can use this in a sharpshooter capacity.
Right.
In its 9mm form, the Micro Devore can be fitted with a compact suppressor, perfect for operations where you need a weapon that's quiet and deadly. The last thing you want in a moment like this is a full-on firefight. One curious guard could compromise the whole mission. The 9mm suppressor keeps our operation stealthy. We have one place to go, and there's only one guard in the way. Now he's not in the way. Intelligence tells us there's an entrance to a network of tunnels under the base. The next challenge is to navigate the labyrinth in total darkness. The great thing about Devore is if you need to see in the dark, it's simple as plug and play. The night vision sight enables you to switch from day to night optics without re-zeroing. In the field, every second counts, and you don't have time to recalibrate your weapon. Coming up, deep underground with no way out. It's time to burst through barriers and pump up the pressure. Nothing can stand in our way. We're in the middle of our Future Weapons Israeli Special, and my team is in the heart of an enemy base. We are here to rescue diplomatic hostages. With my 6-man unit carrying the new Micro Devore, we've managed to gain access under the cover of darkness without being compromised. We've navigated our way through a network of passages under the compound. Now, a new day is dawning. The huge scale of the kidnappers' base becomes apparent. So far, we've penetrated their security without detection. Now, using the element of surprise in the early hours, it's time to move above ground. The guards believe these passages are sealed, but we've come equipped to handle any kind of obstacle. We need to break through the steel grille quickly and silently.
I don't think that hot entry is always the best solution.
Shai Yirmiyahu markets Hydronoa. It's a company that specializes in advanced hydraulic breaching equipment.
You have to keep in mind that right now, if you're fighting in an urban area, you cannot always use explosives. Sometimes comes a minute when you must do it quietly, when you must do it without explosive, because you don't want to make a big effect on the area, such as sound, noise. You don't want to injure someone.
The Hydronoa bar buster can apply 1.5 tons of force to easily spread iron bars wide enough to climb through.
Most of the equipment is working on hydraulic pressure. We're trying to keep everything very, very small in order to keep it easy for the operator on the field, to carry it, to be mobile with it, and then to perform with the equipment.
With this compact bar buster, we're through the grill in a few seconds and now ready for the next stage of our mission. The compact Sharon kit is designed to get you through just about anything. It includes a chain cutter, a spreader, and the bar buster, all driven by a silent portable pump delivering a massive amount of pressure. Perfect for an operation where stealthy access is key. But what if you need to get through something tougher than a steel grill? In Israel, security is a big deal. 98% of all doors are made of steel, even in residential areas. So forcing your way into a locked building is never going to be easy. Now, these doors, they definitely present a specific challenge, don't they? They're not like any other wooden door.
Yeah, they do. The reason that they are a special challenge is because of the fact that they have bolts all over. You have one bolt upwards.
Right.
You have 4 bolts over here.
Right.
One down here, and the other one is over there. So basically, the door is closed from all directions.
It's a very sturdy door.
It's a massive door.
All right, let's go do it. Let's knock this door down. We've already seen how effective a Simon can be if you want to blast your way in. If you want to go in with stealth, Hydronoa has a solution. Instead of an explosive hot entry, Shai's answer is the Hydronoa Manny D4 heavy-duty door buster.
What it does, basically, it sets itself on the frame, and then all you have to do is press this valve, and that's it. The door
Because all the pressure is already generated from there.
The pressure is generated by air, by regular compressed air, which is translated to hydraulic pressure. That's it.
This device has 2 hydraulic rams, one to grip the frame, the other to push against the door. Once it's firmly locked in place, the Hydronoa can apply up to 5 tons of pressure to burst the door right open.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Just like that. We're in. Quiet, stealthy, boom. Hydronoa.
Coming up, the search for the hostages continues. With guards everywhere, we scope the base with a robotic spy. I'm in the heart of a large enemy base to rescue hostages. In the next stage of our operation, we need to gather as much information as possible about their location. Through aerial reconnaissance, we've got some knowledge of the geography of the site. But when you're on a mission in dangerous, unknown territory, you need to gather information on the ground. Using manpower to do this can be very risky. Now, thanks to Elbit Systems, there's a new way to gain that information without risking a human life. The secret: robotics.
With the way clear, now it's time to deploy the Viper. If you wanted to provide you with information from the scene without being exposed to the scene, you can send it.
Tal Yespia is marketing director of Elbit Systems, creator of the versatile, intelligent, portable robot, better known as Viper.
Everything is controlled through this joystick. Very intuitive, controls all the functions.
So it's definitely like a joystick that I'm used to for playing any kind of video game.
I don't know about you, but your child probably.
That's great.
And the other thing that you need is, of course, a screen. In this case, this version is in the glasses, eyepiece. Okay? You see here, this is a small screen, and it screens all the information needed in order to operate it, and also it screens the video that comes from the different cameras that the platform is carrying.
That's fantastic. So with this, I can easily see right now everything in front of me, no problem.
And you can as well operate it because you get all the information needed from the platform as well.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So I always see whatever the robot's seeing.
Exactly.
The Viper is bristling with an array of technology. It has infrared cameras and lights in the front and rear. Sensitive microphones can pick up and relay audio back to troops in the field. In its reconnaissance configuration, it carries an additional camera which can pan, tilt, and zoom for detailed views of the environment, day or night.
If you've ever played with a computer game, you can operate the Viper. It's remarkably easy, very intuitive. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot better being here, safe, than over there exposed.
The challenge was finding the right balance between the weight and the maneuverability.
I need a lighter robot, right?
The basic weight of the platform is 20 pounds.
When on the move, it travels on 2 wheels for speed, but a reconnaissance robot needs to be able to tackle all kinds of difficult obstacles. The solution? A set of wheels that transforms into a track vehicle.
How do you go from this really fast version with the wheels looking like a wheel to a version that can actually climb stairs?
All you have to do is push the button. You see now it's a wheel.
Right.
And here,
That's really cool.
here it's a track, you see. And now, in this version, it has a huge mobility and much more stable.
We've targeted this particular building for surveillance, hoping to single out a potential informant. Someone who might know the exact location of the hostages. So, which one of these men is going to regret being involved in this?
Now, I got a doorway. I gotta be very, very careful, quiet.
As the wheels transform into tracks, the Viper can take on large obstacles with ease.
I can even zoom in the camera and see exactly who the threats are.
From the Viper's pictures, we're able to identify a guard room, but not everyone in the room is armed. Someone like this cook could be our perfect candidate. He's unarmed, and he's likely to know where the hostages are being held.
I definitely don't want to go in that room. I'll back it up.
The key to pulling this off? Stealth. We need to find a place where the chef is alone so we can grab him and interrogate him. In this kind of mission, scoping out a location could take hours or even days. It's risky and tiring, the perfect job for a robot.
And what I'm looking for is where our little chef hides. And he uses that room right there. I want to check this hallway, make sure it's nice and clear. All right, so far, good. I'm going to the room. I think I found the perfect spot. Now, all we have to do is get him.
We're now entering a critical phase of our operation. We need to concentrate on our next move. No problem for the Viper. It will automatically return to its start position. In the future, Elbit plans to adapt the Viper to carry out missions all by itself.
The latest version that we are currently developing, the payload consists of a weapon, a small rifle. And if we succeed, then you have not just the ability to gain information, but also the ability to execute real missions.
Back at the house, our cook is about to step into some hot water. It doesn't take me long to get the information I need. Coming up, the final part of our mission. Time is running out for the hostages as we hit the enemy head on. We'll be using weapons designed to covertly reach out and strike before they know what hit them. For the final phase of the operation, my unit closes in on the hostages. Armed with information extracted from the captured cook, we know the exact location of the hostages and must act before they're moved. They are under heavy guard in the heart of the compound. This part of the mission is going to be tough. Our adversaries have some serious hardware. We have to move in fast. It won't be long before somebody raises the alarm. To complete this final stage of the mission, we're going to need weapons that will enable us to remain invisible and hold on to the element of surprise for as long as possible. I've still got my 9mm Micro Devore fitted with the suppressor. It's perfect for a covert infiltration. It's compact, rugged, and versatile. But you can't see around corners with it. For that, you need something else. The cutting-edge corner shot.
We think that the corner shot gives you the time to take decision, not to be under pressure.
Amos Golan is the man who designed the corner shot. When I met him in the first series of Future Weapons, he gave me a chance to try out several configurations of this fan-favorite weapon. Since then, he's been very busy.
Good.
See you again.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, what we start with the idea of to be able to observe and then to react fast around the corner. Intelligence and then the decision. Later on we say, okay, the range of the 9mm, it's about 100 meters. Then we said, okay, let's go to another caliber so we can shoot further and more lethal. Then we come to the M16. And then we have the corner shot AK-47 or AKM. Of course, in the end, we have the same version of 40mm that if somebody is really behaving not in the right way, you can use it and shoot around the corner.
Now corner shot has evolved even further, and we're using the latest configuration of the weapon. They call it Scorpion. It extends up to nearly 10 feet. The gun on the top is controlled by a cable from the grip below. The Scorpion is designed to hold and fire most popular handguns weighing up to 3.5 pounds. Here, it's using the 9mm Glock 17. Let me borrow this for a second. Let's go over here real quick.
Now try to also to look from up there, even it will be a little bit heavy. Try to look on the top.
No, absolutely. I can actually come right down on top, no problem. Just tuck it underneath my armpit. And now I can come along this, and I can see everything behind those walls, no problem. Just makes it really hard for somebody to hide, huh?
Back in the terrorist camp, the Scorpion is ready to strike. It may seem this kind of surveillance is a little over the top, but in this case, it's exactly what we need. We check out each building, above and below, making sure the way is clear. And when it comes time to reach out and make our move, the Scorpion can deliver quite a sting. We still want to hang on to the element of surprise. For this, we use a new accessory from Cornershot. For a covert weapon, this is the cat's meow. It's the double take that gets you killed every time. It's so cute, so cuddly, so deadly. Meet Kitty Cornershot.
Now, what we have here, it's a kitty Cornershot. We can cock the kitty here, and then you can shoot.
Are you kidding?
We need 1 second of surprise. We need 1 second of surprise, because we want that the enemy will not understand what he see, and then give us the chance to observe, to see, and to decide what to do. And as I show you, one cock.
Wow. So,
You see
worst
everything.
case scenario, you're talking about a stuffed animal, right? Just sitting there by the corner, right? That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is they buy in, right? So you're sitting there, you're in a good position down here. You're watching. Like I can clearly see your foot. If, matter of fact, do me a favor, back up about 15 feet.
Okay.
That's great, right there, perfect. If I see you look at me, right, it catches you by surprise, boom.
This is what I need. This 1 second, what I need.
This is definitely, you don't see this every day, I'll tell you that.
I hope so that you don't have cats like this in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't want a cat that can actually blow my head off. All right, fantastic.
Good cat.
You're always trying to think of new ways to be able to save the soldier's life, right?
This is exactly what we have to do. To take our experience, to take future technology, and to try to make a solution to help the good guys that are working now.
And it's all about gaining the advantage of surprise, right?
Always, always. Ask the kid.
Ooh, good kitty, good kitty.
The Kitty can be used on 9mm, 5.56mm, and 7.62mm AK Cornershot variants. The cat's back legs cover up the weapon's bipod. The inspiration came from an actual Israeli Special Operations mission. I think we've demonstrated just how effective it can be. The Kitty holds the guard's attention for just long enough to freeze him in our sights. The covert bit of our mission is over. It's time to beat feet. We need transport, something big, bad, and bulletproof. Thankfully, the bad guys have just the thing. Time to take their wheels. We use the Tavors to put down suppressive fire until we're out of range. Time to get to our rendezvous point and link up with the evac helo. With an array of new Israeli weapons and technology, we've managed to covertly infiltrate an enemy base. They might have had more guys and guns, but our future weapons enabled us to save the day and whisk the hostages to freedom. There's nothing quite like rescuing damsels in distress. Our story in Israel ends, but the future weapons mission is never over.